Pick the whole thing and everything. All right. Hello, divine sunshiners. You see me fussing at this iPad. It picked a picture and everything. I didn't ask for it to pick the picture, but that's fine. Everything is in divine order. And as usual, everything is already operating off of Aries energy, which is to move and get it over and get it over fast. I hope everybody is faring well in this quarantine, which is really a time for us to just really go back and have that inner journey with ourselves. To really, hey, Jupiter 11, hey, boo boo. Ah, that's my booski. Just to really pretty much have that introspection. That's why the powers that be or the universe has just shut everything down so we can remove all of the extra clutter and the things that kind of distract us from actually doing the actual work that we have to do. So I thought that I would come on here. I was watching Tanya Gabrielle, and she was saying that she has some really good things. And I wanted to take notes down of everything that she has said because she said we were coming into the awakening. I know about waiting, but I did email a lot of people, so it may or may not be so many people on here. Whatever, we'll let the universe attract who needs to hear this message, and you could always hear this on playback as well. So I'm not going to what's that? Purell Manufacturers sued for misleading germ killing claims. Oh Lord, help us, Jesus. It's always something. I will be at the end of this month. I have been instructed the divine masculine and the divine feminine special will end for the $22. So if you want to get in on that, please take advantage of that, especially why I have this inner journey that I'm taking, that the universe has shut down everything. So I have all the distractions taken off the table so I can clearly concentrate just on that one thing as well. I didn't put that, but I could have did that also as well. I will wait. No thanks. No thanks. I'm on your channel. I'm on live now. Ooh, I'm on live now. Giving keys about the Aries season. Okay. Okay. Okie dokie. So now, so it's just me and you. That's fine. So the next months is very crucial because I've already spoken and talking about how the time as far as the first 3 months is very crucial as far as knowing when we are supposed to put in forth set our intentions in the first 3 months. So it's very crucial that we have worked on that, and it's pretty much getting to the point where we're ending cycles. Every pretty much psychic, everybody who's been a advisor have pretty much has said the same thing, in which those of you all that are in that scope of understanding that we have to clean house in order to start something new. The spirit and guides gave us 3 months to be able to do that. Okay, and where I had did also with Jupiter 11, and we had did that, we talked about warriors. So when I listened to Tanya Gabrielle's thing, she talked about that we have to right now, it's important for us to understand that we have to become warriors. And we talked about that earlier because, again, the warrior is within us that helps us to kind of like power on to say, you have that warrior yell to say, okay, let's push forth and go and do what we have to do to really not go at war with things, but also find ourselves that we have to battle. So we are right now in the time of an inner journey, which I spoke about that, and that's brought on from the coronavirus, which she has said, I did not think about that, but she's like, corona means crown. So we know that it right now is helping us to, like you say, no crown, no thorns, or no thorn, no crowns, in order for us to be able to elevate that. And also the crown chakra being in having enlightenment, and we getting those downloads and stuff. We are really learning from this time period, according to my guides, is to really get in touch with that and to really be able to be empowered with the way we're thinking as well. So I did one on the coronavirus, a video, and after you watch this, after this video, I would suggest that you go back to that again, because I see some of the keys that Spirit was trying to lead me as far as trying to get the message out there about what was the importance of the coronavirus too. And so then she was saying that since we're right now, we got a lot of planets that are really actively moving right now. So you have like Pluto, which is life, which means life, death, and rebirth. And then we have Saturn, which is about order. And then you got Saturn, and you have also Capricorn, which rules time. So April 4th is a time in which Jupiter, which brings in wisdom, abundance, and it's also for it's expansion as well. So we know that already. Jupiter 11, you know that already. So we move from the Pisces with the Pisces energy opened it up so we can become into that Christ-like consciousness, that again, unconditional love, of brotherhood, love thy neighbor as thyself. So that is, it ushered in that into the new period that we're actually in. So Jupiter is bringing in joy. And so this period is bringing us back to the connection of love from source. Okay, so that love from source. So I'm just teaching you. So is this our one-on-one class? And that's fine. So love from source. So this period is because you got the number 2, she was stating, which again is helping us to bring back those two, bringing us back to understanding of us coming back to that oneness. So Capricorn helps us to focus on Earth's, makes us grounded into creating new things. And that's why I wanted to make sure I got on here to help you to understand. So we're creating new foundations. And that's why Spirit had led me before that the first 3 months was very crucial to get rid of all that stuff that you didn't have any business having anymore, because you didn't want to bring anything that you had from 2019 over into 2020. Where I get 12 from? Yeah, that was a lot of stuff then. Anyway, I know why that was a fraudulent slip. But anyway, that's when I started the journey. So I really don't want to bring that all the way up until now at all. So the areas in which is being influenced right now is our religion and our higher education. So some of us might want to think about going back to school again. So we can get more education as it goes along. Some of us might also feel that with the religion as well, although it's been very dogmatic up until this point, but again, I said that in my coronavirus video, how we had to change out of our scope, or how we're looking at religion not being so strategic, so real ritualistic in its thing, and being more of a more open and less controlling thing. I don't have anything about religion, but when it's like you got to think a certain way, you got to do a certain way, that's when it becomes very it's separate. I'm just trying to see if I see you saying anything else. Okay, so this is what's making the changes in religion at this point. So now we got this new portal. So we're moving into now from those things. Higher education doesn't even mean to even going back to school, but you just want to get educated so you can be more knowledgeable about what things are going on. That's what I picked up. And so right now we're moving into the understanding that we've got to trust God as our source of our supply. So there's a new portal that's opening up in 4/4, April the 4th. And so it's going to give us more hope about the future. And so Mars into Jupiter is like a prelude to helping you understanding that you know you want to be free. And also you want to be, what I picked up also was that with this being Aries, and Aries is the fire sign, and although you have that Capricorn influence going on, you're pretty much taking that fire and helping you to be able to burn things up. So especially when you're talking about in the material world, so it's almost like you becoming that phoenix. Those things that no longer serve you, you rising from the ashes and you creating something new. So Mars and Pluto and Scorpio, those things again, like I said, is burning the old, and you having like that regeneration card. I don't think I can bring that out just that quick. It's a regeneration card. Let me see, I can find it. Because that's what came to me when I was listening. Oh, shuffle, 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 shuffle. Say it's at the bottom of the pack. It's at the bottom. I think it is. Say I heard say the bottom. Starting from the bottom, now we here. Sure is. It is at the bottom. So this is what's like. This is like the symbolism of it. We regeneration so we can give way to something new. Okay. And so with that, we are starting up to build something fresh. And you can see here with the little buds here that's being shown here as well. And so now, so whatever we built before, you can use that so you can be able to take that and start something new, because whatever it is that's going on now is going to be magnified. So you can use your instincts to sense a course as to what you want to do, because it's going to be magnified. It's not like you guys think and see. It's going to be like, really, it's like you can't miss it. So it's like the universe is going to be able to like zoom in on actually what is going to be able to so you can know what's the course that you need to take. So we got Pluto is bringing in enormous changes and transformations. I got my notes. So when we talk about leadership is going to take a new focus now. Leadership, yeah, I said that was going to happen, didn't I? Yeah, all right, thank you. So leadership is going to take a new focus, okay? It's no more of that control. I seen that even when I had a meeting with my principals today. We were on Google Hangouts, and I seen that they're kind of pushing us into a more where you can't really be control. Who is that? I seen somebody's waving. Who is that? Hey, Benita. So yeah, so you can't be at a place that you're being really controlling anymore, because we got uncertainty. You can be controlling when you know exactly what's supposed to be doing and whatever you're actually supposed to be happening. But when you have that uncertainty, it doesn't come off too good when you got somebody who's actually controlling, in that. So now we're moving away from that sense of control into that. And that's the reason for the core team, or the energies is the source. Not saying it's behind it, but why we've moved into this event that we're actually having of this experience, because we got to learn how to move away from that control, because sometimes things in life happen and you don't have control over those things. Okay, so they're saying anything with the word that starts with the word P is powerful. So like principles and presidents, all those things. And so those things that start with the word P is my mind went to the gutter a little bit. But anything, those are very powerful things, and we have to watch how we use that we're not using in terms of which we're controlling. I don't know why I hear Dr. I forgot what her name is. She always saying pussy power, but It just veered off to that. So women of us using that kind of way of our feminine was to be able to do it in a way that we're controlling others. We've got to kind of get to the point that we're watching how we're using that power as well. So spring starts. So spring starts the 20th, March the 20th, which is 2020 again. That's leading us back to again. Yeah, right. Robert, Mama Gina, and Dr. Ruth. Right. Yeah. Right. They're saying about that. Yeah. So we gotta watch how we using it. We know that men, we have conquered empires by using that as well. Girl, the Cleopatra. But anyway, so perfect vision. In 2020, March the 20th, 2020 starts off with the, of course we know that it's perfect vision. And it also, because of that number two, you reduce all those zeros there. You got the two there, which again is understanding the relation of one-on-one. So you got that one-on-one, I want to play that game tonight. Like a Hall and Oates. So you got that one-on-one relationship, which is probably more also a few bucks. Okay, all right. They go to DM chiming in. Okay, so again in the morning, God dog, perfect vision. So again, one-on-one relationships, especially with the divine. So 20 means the awakening of truth, and this is the 21st century that we in. So this century is the starting of the truth, and we'll be able to free we'll be set. It will set you free, because that's the way we are. I talked about the corona, which is the crown, and it says to see the truth with great clarity in this decade. You're going to be able to use your intuition. I talked about on the corona, and I said that I knew that was some good stuff. People sleeping on that. I'm sorry, but yeah, the coronavirus video. I talked about synchronicities. I kind of understood what they were talking about, and I kind of didn't. This went in deep dive, and I got the understanding what synchronicities was. That right now at this time it's very important that we pay attention to the symbols. And I think Divine Pisces 222 talked about that. Say you asking for answers, now make sure that you're looking for it specifically. And so they're saying now the universe right now at this time is opening up. So you're going to see symbols, you're going to see codes, frequencies, things. If you believe in the Akashic records, those things are going to start opening up there, and you're going to get downloads. I know with me, I've even every time I do my meditations, I have been walking away with some kind of symbolism from, like, the DM one day. It showed me he had an umbrella over him, and I was like, what that mean? I got to go look that up. Then the other day I was zoned out, and I seen a seal. I started off in the morning my meditation, and I had forgot. I said, I'm going to look it up what a seal is. And then at the end of the day, last YouTube video, they showed a seal jumping onto a man's boat, and this was there cuddling with a man. And I said, that's right, I'm supposed to look up seals. So I'm telling you that because that is very true, that they will be bringing you symbols. So you need to pay attention to it. Like my mom had taped, and she didn't know that, which I love that. That is my favorite ultimate twin flame movie. So while you're home, you can watch that, The Adjustment Bureau, with Matt Damon. I don't know what the other young lady's name is. That sucker is like, it's got all of the things. It kind of tells you why sometimes things that veer you off, how the relationship guidance for. I was missing with my healing after a trigger yesterday was seeing my beloved, and they got it right away, very clear. Yeah, so they are, yes, Benita. So they are now showing you. So you just ask, what was that thing? Like E.F. Hutton, you gotta listen. It was something like back in the day. I know I'm dating myself, but you've got to actually listen. They're actually, the universe is answering you back. You just gotta be still and know that they are going to actually clarify and give you the answers to what you're asking for. So this is the time to do that. That's why I say I want to jump on here and give you all the keys so you all know. Okay, so the rest of them, you getting it hard off the press this here. The rest of them, they see it in the same time. Whenever time you come here is the right time for you. So she mentioned this, the term tangential. which means we get into the Aquarian age. We know Aquarius, their energy is thinking outside of the box, okay? And so you're learning how to broaden your view right now. So although we're broadening our view, we still got that Capricorn energy that's going on that's going to help us to kind of ground. So Mother Gaia is, in some ways, I've talked about that too on this channel, about Mother Gaia and how she was shaking up some things. But have you noticed that Mother Gaia has kind of slowed down and quieted down? So right now, with us having this period of quarantine, it's also been orchestrated through Mother Gaia that this also has happened, because now everything has shut down. It stopped all the foot traffic and all the hustle and bustle that we've had on the surface of Mother Earth, and all this up in the air and the sky and the seas and everything. I mean, everything has really came down to a shutdown. We're not as interested that this happens, because now it's almost just like a mother giving birth. All this quietness is now for her to be able to give birth to spring. So now we're moving into this next season again, which is now 21st, right? The equinox that has happened. So we're now into spring. So now it creates this change that we're having now. So she's healing, and she's being grateful, and she's also replenishing through spring, Mother Gaia. Mother Gaia, in other words, you are not familiar with Gaia, is another word for Mother Earth, okay? So the moment of the equinox is now rebalancing our healing and blooming, okay? So we're right now, as we're moving into that energy of, like I said, those first 3 months is very crucial, because we're getting rid of the old. Now we need to kind of now turn, literally leave the stuff that was in the past that had actually happened, and now move forward into our newness. So we need to kind of now just kind of like actually like shed and drop it. And so now let's move on with the intentions of creating everything new. So we're appreciating the newness. We're going to become almost like newborns. And so now through this period, there is this meaning. So we are at this period, we're dismantling the separation. So a lot of us have, and I've even admit myself too, it was some period of time that I know that me and God was like, he was my homie, anything I asked for, we were close. That's even from childhood all the way up to, I say maybe about like college, and then college it started, the relationship kind of started like, it drifted, okay? And I found myself now, because of me doing this work, now coming back into the fold. I forgot, it was some incident that caused me to say, oh my God, he's here, we're back on track. What was it? And I cannot remember. Anyway, I guess he said, it ain't for you, we back at it together now. But you know, we're not coming back to that understanding there is no separation. We're going back to the love of source. That understanding that we are one, okay? So if we have forgotten that, again, the events that's happening in this part of us being quarantined, or right now with this coronavirus epidemic, we're understanding, we're coming back to self. Like I said, all the distractions, like I said at the beginning, are now being faded away, and now we are concentrating on self. We're even concentrating on family as well. And so, you know, or friendships, different dynamics of how we can interact with our friends, especially with this social distancing. How can we be creative and still have those connections with others? How can we be creative and have those connections with self? Now we don't, some of us that may live alone, how do we keep ourselves entertained, you know, just by ourselves? You know, it's like, oh, I ain't never thought about that, because I'm always on the go. I think about one of my besties, she's always on the go doing something. Now, here in the city of Chicago, they already said they're going to put us on lockdown from the weekend. So it's like, okay, now you can go and get your essentials, but you can't go out there and say, oh, well, I'm kind of stressed, I need a drink. No, well, you're going to have to get your drink on at home, you know? So you got to find other ways. I'm at the Netflix. I was going to go to the theater, but I guess I'm at the Netflix at home. So some people, And I said that before, even on my video about the coronavirus. This is going to be a new normal for them. It might be temporary, but it's going to be new for them to understand how to really have that atonement with self, how to be able to relate with self. And this is going to help them, because this is probably at the end of it, once we come out of this this here being the quarantine with ourselves, come across several people who feel that God had created a domino effect to assist waking the masculine energy. Go back, don't go nowhere. I don't want to report her. Okay, hold on. We'll go back to come across assist waking the masculine energy more, thus triggering the need for refinement of the feminine energy to finish healing. Yes, and that's what was brought to in the video. They're saying again. Right, and so that right, so it can create healing. We're still not finished with the cycles. Spirit brings to me, I know people have said that, and my guides have said, well, the ending of the cycles is going to be in January, and they acted as if that was going to be the end. With me, that's not what. So I guess you say I can prophesy too, which I know that I knew that too. But my thing is, I'm not picking up into May. May is the month of 5. 5 means change. I don't pick up until actually the finish of them come back into my dojo to help, knowing that would help happen. Yes, so that's good. So you about the second one I didn't talk to that and said that Benita, you're not by yourself. A lot of them say I'm just gonna help, and I think I would say even with myself either, because I had kind of like said, yeah, you do you, I do me, and we gonna let this go. But then Spirit's like, you got to play the mother role. You got to nurture that a little bit, and then you'll be ready to kind of say, cut, you know. So yes, I understand that there's a purpose for everything. But like I said, it's not until May 5th. May 5th, you'll start to see it actually cutting off. Right, I said May 2. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I'm not seeing that. Somebody's talking about May 5th. Maybe that's me personal date, I don't know. But my thing is not into May. Not into May. It's like the halfway mark. June, we moving into love, like 6, just like what it means, the month 6. And so now we're separating through this quarantine. We're changing our behavior. And that changing of behavior is being seen through our words, our feelings, and our actions. Because we're understanding that those behaviors have a much bigger impact and much bigger scope. Okay? Ooh, yeah, it's getting good because I'm scratching. So, 20, the number 20, that's what we end here, which is April 20th, or the year 20, is having to do with our intuition. We want to balance that, and listening. So we want to be able to listen for solutions. That's why I say the symbolisms and things are out there all of the time. So we're going to reflections. When we reflect on things, it helps to give birth to solutions. So like I tell the kids, don't react but respond. You scratch your head at the same time. See, that's why we in union, baby. That's you, my boo. Yes, my boo. You know this. Don't play with me. So then, right. So it gives us solutions. So when we reflect, like I tell the kids, take your time, respond, but don't react to things. It helps us to come up with things. So right now we're in this period. I would say in April, we're in like a forget Shark Tank. We're in a thinking lab or thinking tank, and it's allowing us to think more about where we're going. So that's why we're moving into that warrior thing. I have been more and more, I will definitely, and I keep on saying that, but I have the time now to work on this warrior workbook that I've been saying. So having that warrior spirit is going to help us to kind of like, rah, we're going to move forward. And because the warriors are unique, and they are risk takers. So that's the thing. We're going back. We talked about that earlier in January, but it seems like the universe is saying, especially for the divine feminine, they want us to go pick up that stick again and be ready to like charge into what we have to, especially with this being the divine feminine year. So this year, with us having that balance of understanding too, we'll talk about love and light. We're having that balance. And I told you several of the readings that I have done for the month has been talking about balancing, especially this week. So I see why they said about that, because we got to understand. I don't think that's something that's going to go away. That's something that we're going to have to take that temperance card and that temperance energy and take it all the way through April, because we got to understand that the love and light is like the yin and yang of life, that it connects us to each other. So it connects us with God, and God is the number 10, which is love and light, and it helps us to release our fears. So that's why we've got to get in touch with that connection back again. So Jupiter again brings faith and justice. When the truth comes out, we take a quantum leap. I want to put a pin in that. A lot of some things, some deceptions and things that are coming out, and I'm picking it up. The guys are saying, like, can I interject? And I'm like, yes, you're more than welcome. There's going to be some things, like my mom said, whatever, and that's in the Bible, whatever's kept in the dark, it's going to come to the light. Don't be surprised if some of these third-party energies or karmic energies, some things is going to hit the fan. And light is going to come in there, because, again, the universe is forcing that, number one, the cycles has got to end. You can't keep on holding on. It's been, the divine masculine has been literally holding on the edge, and the spirit has literally been like, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. And it won't do it. So, it's got to come to that point that he's got to let go of that edge. He's scared to fall because he's falling into the unknown. But, sometimes you'll find out that when you let go, sometimes you let go into something much better and greater than what you thought was before. And you look back at yourself when you look and say, why didn't I let go sooner? I mean, this was ridiculous. It's like some of those stunts, and you see them fall off, and the mattress is like literally 1 foot under. I had a dream and was given June. It didn't click till now. Well, I'm glad. See, that's why you're supposed to be here. Hey, April. Yeah. So, it's literally like, boom. It's like, damn, I thought I was going to fall. Man, it's less than a foot that I fell, so that's where they've got to understand. And I'm picking up from the guys. It's like, if you let go, I'm letting you know it's really not going to be that worse. Yes, you're going to fall, but I think more so that the guys are saying it's your thought of falling or fear of falling that's making it more worse than what is actually going to happen. Okay, so they just brought that to me. So Jupiter is faith and justice. When the truth comes out again, you make quantum leaps. So when they really come to the point of those that's in not just the divine masculines, but divine feminines that are in those karmic situations, that means person, place, a thing. That's all of us. We got some kind of karmic. It could be family. It could be the job. When we say to that job, you know what, it's deuces. I'm tired of falling asleep at the wheel after I leave work. I'm seeing you draining me. The kids are draining me. Everybody's draining me. So guess what? Maybe if I go ahead, release it, and jump into my next exploration, it might be not as bad as I think it is. Say God got me and just jump. So we got Mars. So with this Aries energy that we have, which is the Mars energy, which is to take that energy from Mars and to be able to create the energy, to take that energy and to create a much better version of you, because Mars is about action. Aries is impatient, but we like to get the job done, get it over with, and we don't like to repeat over again what we just learned. That's one thing about Aries. That's a good thing about it, but that impatience, but we drive ourselves to make sure that it's over with and done with. We don't like to kind of keep on twisting around the same things over again. Okay, and so now fire. Okay, I'm right. I was fire up. Oh, I say, so it's time to fire up, twins. Okay, right. Use that power of fire energy to move. I learned this from a reader one time that had told me about you with the season energies. And I say, you know what? I might start doing that now, where I do more so of the energies that we move in astrology wise than just the month, because each one of them you have moved. So like they had told me, they're like, well, you and your counterpart, since they're an air sign and you're a fire sign, this will be your season, because you're moving into Aries. So that was a long time ago. So they like, Aries, this is your season. I like, yeah, I can move in this because fire is me. And air is good for fire because it propels and motivates them. So this is a good time for you all to have some kind of like forward movement. So again, when you have to talk about astrology, you can watch the different seasons, and I mean the different astrology seasons wherever we're in, and it will help you to know about how that's going to impact or influence your movement as well. So like if you're an air sign or fire sign, this side is really good for you. And it depends on different, I hear Jupiter 11 say, and it depends on different aspects of your chart. And that is true, and which will really help to fuel you to go forward, progress forward too. So it kind of looks, so if your Venus, like my Venus is Gemini, so okay, I'm still sticking and moving. So I mean my love area should be on and popping, because this is fire sign season. So that could be able to fuel that up, but my moon is in Capricorn. So now that means, okay, even with this fire thing, I might have to find out, I'm gonna have to ground some things, but in ground some things, I might have to burn some things up and regenerate myself. So that's why I say you got to kind of, that's the past. Look at your chart. Your chart is a blueprint. It's not the end all be all, but it does kind of help you to understand how you should stick and move in the way of the journey of life. Okay. So now the next thing. So Aries is about courage, which I would have thought about it was more so Leo, but she stated that it was about courage. So the way it is now. So, and it's about action. I'm gonna go beyond that. So it's a cardinal sign, which means new beginnings, also a new era and a new season, because Aries is the first sign, and it starts all the other signs after that. I thought it was Capricorn. No, that's the year. That's the it. So take the Aries fire, finish the Aries fire that's coming in now, finish and complete any things that you have not done, and do it, and so it can be able to take that energy, that Aries impatientness, which is to get it over with, and to get it over with as soon as possible. That's the energy that you can use, so you can be able to use to propel you to finish up some stuff, because you got a lot of stuff that's on the back burner, some YouTube things that you've been thinking about you doing. This is the time. If you got projects that's on the back burner, let's kind of move and push forward with that. Schmidt, something about the cure was around the corner for this coronavirus. I know April Williams, she stated that. You see on her channel, she talks about that Cuba already has the cure for that. You can check out her. She talks about that as well. So that is showing, because of the period we're moving in, that is valid as well. And so now Mars energy speeds up everything. It refines things. It gets things done. Pluto is about, I can't read that. My handwriting went crazy. So I don't know what it is, but we already talked about Pluto. And then we got Saturn. So Saturn is 22 degrees. It will hit 22 degrees in January. Mars and Jupiter's merge, and it's a huge sign of progress now. And so that's why we're able to move forward, and it's also an ending sign. So right now we're looking at peace, completion of cycles, and since we're moving into the 2000s, the years, so you got 2 again, 2020. So again, it's about you and source and you and another. So this is the time that if we're talking about you building those new relationships, or you want to move forward with the twin flame journey with you and your twin, the universe and the energies are here to support you. I still would say is first start off with you and that union with self, and then let it, like a tree, like the tree of life, build from that point on. Talked about prophecies of the second coming. So again, the second coming again which is that Christ. We know again why we're coming to it, and that's funny because when I did the coronavirus thing, they talked about meditating. Meditating is a way for you to have that inner journey with self, And so that is why we're having this period now, is for we could be able to have that journey and understand that it's just you and source when it comes down to it, especially with some of us jobs that maybe not paying us as we're doing. Well, guess what? Now it's really a relationship between you and source. It's like now the stuff has hit the fan and it's getting definitely damn real. So like I can't call on all this, like my sister came ask for money. Like, no, we can't. Listen here. We trying to fend for ourselves here. I can't be taking you into this boat. It's nice, but I got to look out for self. So right now, it's like my dad said, put your hand in the hand of Jesus right now. And we working that thing out right now because it's you and source, and it's really these things are helping you to turn back to that idea. So understanding that 2, 1, and 1, and you put it together, we're talking about again, it still comes back to 1. So 2 that become 1. That's the main thing that we are meditating on, is the 2. So now we're letting go of control of something outside of ourselves and telling ourselves what we can do. So it's no more looking outside ourselves to help us or to control these situations. It's us. We're the one that's manifesting. We're the ones that making things happen. It's us and source, okay? Just the 2 of us. We can make it if we try. Just the 2 of us. Just the 2 of us. Just the 2 of us. Right up high, just the 2 of us, you and I. So that's being source together. So the separation caused us to feel disconnected from source, and now we got to picture ourselves plugging back into source again, okay? And so the 3 months, I'm gonna say this again as I start to wrap up, is very important because it's right now we are finishing out what used to be our old selves, those things that no longer serve us, and now we're looking at things again as far as returning and looking at the newness. So we're acting like we're dropping, picturing ourselves like dropping the skin and just dropping it, and then we're going into the newness. Okay, so let's right, again, we got to remember, we got to connect back to source. I already said that. Words only, now this came from Tanya Gabrielle, and I love that. Words only get you into connection to the feelings, just like music connects you to your heart. If the usage of words, such as, like you saying, source, powers that be, Christ, offends you, you need to think about why is it that causes you to be offended, okay? And that is true, and that's what we got to go back to source, because there's some people that have a problem with saying Christ, powers that be, or whatever. I had somebody leave a nice comment down at the bottom, what you mean by powers that be. We have a lot of powers, I'm going to say this again, that governs this universe. It's not just one. We have a source, and we have all other beings that also help and assist on that. Our guides, guardian angels, whatever, those that you believe in. Don't get hung up on, and that's on all channels, whatever somebody else, they say Buddha, and they say Buddha or Gula Gula, and that's what they name it. Don't get hooked up. Right. Don't get hooked up with, if I call him Gula Gula, you know, or the Candy Man. It don't matter what I call him. Just understand that I'm saying the thing is something I believe that is something outside of myself that's empowering me or powering me to do what I'm doing. As long as I can tell the kids they ain't killing you, hurting you, murdering, shooting you, that really don't have nothing to kind of really bother you about. And that we get so hung up about the words. Words are very powerful, but understand, again, we have to practice the principle of charity. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? The principle of charity, which means that whatever you're doing, you is with the intent that you are coming from a good place, right? the content for your highest good is resonating and helping. Right. That's the main thing. It's resonating and helping you. Bump all the extra other stuff. And that's not saying anybody coming like, oh my God, you so high on yourself and you so narcissistic. I don't know what it is. Whatever it is that you seeing is reflection in you. But anyway, we're not gonna let that. I like how Nakia told me. She said, all I heard is that she helped you to level. That's it. That's beautiful. That's it. That's all. So my thing is, so in conclusion, be in love with the awakening. Allow it right now, these times, to help you to co-create. Again, become one with the source. Get rid of the disconnect now. You blaming them a lot. I pick up from, since you all, that you thinking in some ways that the source had something to do with you and not having that connection or the divine, with the relationship with your divine counterpart. Some of y'all are still blaming them for that. Let that go, because they weren't ready for it. Some of that stuff don't have anything to do with source. The person was not ready. You thought they were. You painted them in a certain way, a type of way of thinking that they were. And that's where the heartbreak came in. But they weren't truly ready. Okay, so you got to let that go. I seen that on ET. He's like, how you get over heartbreak? Just look at things for what it is, And so that is the truth that says, so we have to look at also the truth that sets us free, just like what I said there, that we got to let go of the old thoughts and what was interacting with, and let's remember how we interact with one another. And when my handwriting is getting interesting. Oh, and when talking to others, understand you are talking to self. That's a good one. That is true. We got to go back to that understanding of oneness, again. So a lot of times, talk to people the way you want treated, as well. But that's creating that oneness and not that disconnect. They have a reason. I could have just left everything alone with what that person had said, but I did. I made the bigger person, and I started saying, okay, well, how could I improve? How could I do differently? How could I build from there? Because there is something that this person actually did want to actually kind of contribute to making me a better person, even from, like my mom always said, they meant it for bad, but God meant it for good, took it for good. So it doesn't matter with that. But my thing is, understand this is what this period is for. I've told you all it's very important. Well, I got just a couple of more minutes. I just want to see what the source wants us, the areas that it wants us to actually concentrate on, as far as we're moving into this Aries season. While we on here, clear. That looks good. So the 3 areas that source wants us, 4 areas, wants us to deal with is wisdom. I see this ancient, like look at the things of the past in which we look at. I get a fork in the road. Some things in the past we need to let go, but some things in the past were good principles and a good foundation for us to build upon. So they want us to look at that in that way. Integrity. Yeah, I think I talked about that in one of these videos. I was talking about how integrity, being honest. Again, like I said, the truth, ask and you shall receive. I asked, needed this message. Okay, very good. Good, Benita. And so, again, integrity. We got to create, again, they remind us, we got to create that balance. Again, like I said, we're getting pushed, they said, in the message that I read from my notes, that we are getting pushed to be honest with ourselves. And if you ain't gonna do it, guess what? The powers that be and source and the energies and this what's now going through the planetary shifts and forces is going to start pushing it to actually happen. You're going to have to start letting go of this. And you know that karmic situation is not for your highest good, and you refuse and you keep on holding on for dear life. The universe will say, okay, I got you, boo. We gonna chop your fingers. No, we ain't gonna chop your fingers off, but we gonna make you let go. Okay, that's it. We tried it your way. We try to be gentle. We always try to give you the aha towers, but sometimes we see we gonna have to go ahead and give you that hard tower. So here comes the hard tower. Okay, like I said, from now on into May, it's gonna start tumbling in. I'm sorry, but it is. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's so you don't know how that is. That's so empowering. I do. I take that in. I take that to heart. Thank you, and that gives me encouragement to keep on doing what I'm doing. And so also hope. That's good. Look like I thought I seen it, but I didn't read about that. So again, it gives us hope, enlightenment about what we need to do next. You know, it might have been bleak 2019 and my fortune slip up and talk about 2012, but spirit is saying now this is a new century, new decade we in. So again, now take that newness that we're in and now push forward into, yeah, I was right, decade. I thought I slipped wrong. Now move forward into that newness and create something new, okay, which is going to give you hope. Hope to build on for the future. And then you have forgiveness, which is true. You have to forgive yourself. Practice the Ho'oponopono prayer. I think I say it right, April, the Hawaiian expert. I always mess it up. I put too many ponos up in there on that one. I do too many ponos up in that sucker. But thank you. Yeah, I am a clear channel. That's why you tell me I gotta learn how to block. All that extra. I just be welcoming me in. But we gotta practice forgiveness. Again, I don't say I'm sorry. It does start off with I'm sorry. Forgive me. Thank you, and I love you. I say I apologize because that's been a principle that I have been raised on, that you don't want to tell the universe that you're sorry, because that brings in more of a negative or a lower thing. That so you can put it your own twist on that. So I apologize. Please forgive me. Thank you, and I love you. Say that over again across all space and time. Clear and transmute across all space and time. That whatever lifetimes, whatever I bring in ancestral, whatever things I bring in now, past lives, who I am now, past relationships, all those things that's going on, that's what we got to start doing, that forgiveness. You start with yourself first. You do that with yourself, because there's a lot of things that you have accepted and you have tolerated up until now that has brought on these things for where you are. Our son saying it this morning. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing, right? And you say that, and it clears out. I can say that instantly, even with my divine master. And the next minute, it's like, woo, yeah, like ain't nothing happened. Ain't nothing happened. I even said it with my mom. We had gotten to a big thing, and it was like, next thing, it's like, what you want for dinner? I was like, oh my God, this thing worked. Like what? It's like somebody rewind the tape and say, or the DVR light and say, yeah. So okay, so now we're talking about forgiveness. Like what happened to the rest of what she's talking about, the Ho'oponopono prayer? So it does a world of difference. I'm telling you, I am a believer. I thank Sean, that's April and our friend, for him introducing me to that prayer, because again, that was so very helpful in doing that, and it's cleared a lot of stuff. Is there anything else that the universe wants us to know? What's the life changes that we need to deal with in this Aries season? I would say what's the darkness, but to me it's kind of like different for everybody, but we can't see that too clear, because I'm gonna stop in an hour. You've been stuck with me for an hour, and then I'm gonna stop. We done went this long. You give me 7 more minutes. 7 minutes. 7 minutes. Don't you fresh your own decisions. We got to change our decisions. I told you, if we're moving into newness, we can't move and have our being doing the same things over again. We've got to change how we decide what's best for us, or how we interact with others, since they said we are now one, or how we see source in our lives as well. What is the clear? What is the shadows that collectively we have to deal with? Ooh, no, you came out. Masquerade. Wow. You're like, be stuck. Thank you. Masquerade. Some of us, we're not being true to our own identity of who we are. Okay. We got this is overactive crown here going on. Oh, that's the reading I did. Kid, we going around with all this extra plumage and like, look at me. I know you're unique, as they said, dealing in this Mars energy which is being a warrior. There you go. Being unique. But at the same time, we don't want to be putting on this show of somebody else that we're not, and it's draining us because it looks like this person is actually drained. I'm a divine feminine. Feminine. Sound like a twin flame all star. Feminine, feminine. So this one, you're a divine feminine, and you walking around here and you're thinking, and it's like it's not really on point. You're not really thinking you can connect it to source. You don't really think that you're gonna make it with the divine master, or you could be into union with self, or the divine masculine is thinking the same thing when it comes to the divine feminine. You're thinking, you got thinking that needs to kind of be corralled and pulled in. So again, your crown chakra, and I see it's covering up your third eye, you're not able to envision and see, and your crown chakra is overactive too. So I would also deal with that. Your sacral with your creativity, which is also going to be affected with this decision making. I'm going back to this thing, but I'm looking at this butterfly, and these eyes are excessively large. So we said that earlier in my notes, that you've got to widen how you seeing things. You got to broaden your scope of seeing things as well. And in the solar plexus, you got to stand in your power. The heart chakra is in the background. You know, of course, your heart also is a driving force for your decision making. You're like, what do I feel in my heart? Does my heart tell me to do it? So, you know, that's 55-44. So, you know, that's also a big thing. But I see white spirit is really playing a big role as far as how you're blossoming out into your solar plexus, which is standing in your power, using your sacral, which is your creativity and how you relate to others, which again, how you relate to spirit, how you understand that you are one with others, and how that heart chakra is helping you to kind of build upon to you know, to say, okay, yes, do I feel this resonating in my heart? What things do we have to surrender? Clear. Surrender frustration. I believe that. Frustration doesn't open any doors. The key to resolving a dilemma or dissolving a block is to take a breath, center yourself, and regroup so you may approach the situation more calmly. Because, again, this is Aries energy. Told you Aries is noted and infamous for being impatient. That patience, impatient, and saying, I want it now, I want it all, is help to propel you, to help you to kind of finish up projects, but at the same time it can work against you because you get frustrated because it's not moving at the rate that you want to. Like my cousin Vinny, my biological clock is ticking now, so you know you want that baby to be birthed now, and it's not able to, you know, because everything takes divine time, and divine time say, okay, we open up the energies for it to happen now, but still it's some things that's got to be in place, some synchronicities, some serendipitous events have to happen in order for it to actually occur. And it also says surrender to receiving support and love. Allow the love and support of others in rather than trying to handle everything yourself. This can take the pressure off and simultaneously nurture you. Excuse me. And that was in today's the daily that I talked about nurturing today in the light workers message. Please go to my Instagram page, Divine Unisouls 11. Thank you, April, for letting me know there was something wrong with it, because I'm like, where my people at? Ain't nobody over here liking my stuff. See, I had it underneath the wrong name, so now you can go over there. I'm tweeting and also that today I tried something different. I did a video and they talked about self-love. This goes right on to that. If you want to feel a little bit more into this, how you can support and love, go over there. Don't walk but run over there to the Instagram and see about today's message I talk about for the light worker, and they talk about what's needed in order to have that self-love. That's good on that one. Okay. And how I'm doing, 2 minutes left. Okay, we're in with that, the shine. That one. Clear. What is our divinity that we have to work on, whether we're divine feminine or masculine? Okay, right on out. The fear factor. Dun, dun, dun. Right. Especially moving into newness, that unknown. We're just like the divine masculine. You know, we don't know, or else going into something new. We don't know what we're going to fall into. But like I said, you never know. It might just be a 1 foot fall. And you're like, that's what I was, man, I was scared about that. That wasn't even nothing. So, you know, we have to work with that fear of ourselves, knowing if we're good enough. Does Source really have our back? Are we really one with Source? You know, is he pulling my leg? Are we really one in this? So that's something. The fear, they got the number 6, which is, again, love. Love, outcast fear. Am I right? Jupiter 11, I had that Bible quote, verse right. Fear, outcast, love, outcast, fear. So if you really love that thing, don't worry about the fear factor, okay? That's obsolete, okay? And then, 59. I almost there, got 2 cards, and that was it, and then I'm off. Clear? What does the universe want to say to us? Oh, nice. We're not here. Down. I hurt you. Oh, if everyone really knew how much they were loved, not only from above, by those now in their life, there'd be little hearts drawn on everything from wheelbarrows to skyscrapers to jumbo jets. And I so look forward to that day. Big heart, the universe. This is nice. Yeah, so this goes right along with saying the source, the powers that be, the Christ, all those things that I love you. And then remember about the love that's expressed around it. That's half the battle with some of us, is that we don't even know that we are loved. We got love right where we are before the universe even think about sending us some more love. Okay? And how does the universe want us to shine? Clear. Last one. Last thing to start off here with. Oh, you came right on out. Thank you. I want to thank you, Heavenly Father, for shining your light on me. Dare to be yourself. That goes right here. We let go of this fear. And then say again about this masquerade. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Do, 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 do. All right, that is the end of today's message. I had to bring that forth because, again, I've been saying, I'm so glad Jupiter 1111 backed me up. She said, I even said in her own personal reading about these first 3 months, and then also in the month of May. That's going to be the end of the cycle. So in June, we can actually, and Bonita backed me up, we can actually move into the love. So rather love, look out, don't be surprised. Say, universe surprised me. Love could be yourself. Love can understand love of others. If you understand, have a new understanding of love with source, it could be the divine masculine. But be open and receptive to understanding that love comes in different forms. So just open it up and be receptive and expansive as to the way love shows up. All right? I love you. That's my boo. That's my boo. My boo's gay. All right. Hey, Benita. Yes, and in the dream, my daughter was pregnant too. So, abundance. Oh, yeah, that's the, which one is, that's the Empress card? That she got the world, the Empress? Yeah. That has that. Oh, okay. All right then. Abundance to everybody. Yes. Thank you so very much. Thank you, April. Thank you, Benita. Thank you, Jupiter 11, the hostess with the mostest. Who else is on here? I know we had a small class today, but that's all right because sometimes the small classes be it. All right, April, thank you so very much for being on here. Did I say that already? I just want to make sure I'm shouting out to the people that was on here. Thank you. Who sent the 1-1? The 111. Thank you, April. Oh, 11. All right, now. You better, hey, now. I'm leveling. I'm leveling. Yes. Forget Sierra. I'm leveling over here. All right, there. Love you. And much peace and abundance. All right, as always, stay uplifted. Stay motivated. Stay ascending. Namaste. Namago. I love you.